I mean, we saw last night the videos from home runs and high balls. You guys just going nuts for OMG.
We're not playing that song because we're just like, oh, it's our teammate. Like, we play it because that song is an absolute banger.
Talk about the genesis of that handshake that you guys have going on right now.
Like, we started hitting homers, like me and him, and I was like, honestly, it's working. Whoever hits the home run, the other person takes the picture of them.
And then you have a good handshake with Sean Manaea, too.
Oh, yes. Yes. Can't let that one go by.
I do.
Talked about the Subway Series. How much fun were those 2 games?
That environment was second to none. It was so sick.
When you have fans like that dueling in the stands, and you hear Yankees chants, you hear Mets chants, I mean, that's why we're here, man. That's why I signed back here. There's no place like winning and competing in New York. There's nothing like it.
Hey, welcome to Meet at the Apple. I'm Vito Calisi. This is Jonathan Barron, and we're here with Mark Vientos and Harrison Bader. And just past month has been fun. How you guys feeling?
It's been great. I think it's really important to, to manage like the success the same way you manage the failure, which is to turn the page regardless of the result. I think we've been doing a really good job from an offensive standpoint of just sticking to our plan and trusting each other and working together and communicating, which is the most important thing. You know, those guys on the other side, especially when they're pitching, they're formulating plans on the go too. So we've been really good and active and just, coming together and playing a good brand of baseball. And again, like I said, the name of the game is turn the page and repeating it the best we can. So, we got little over 3 months left to keep proving it to ourselves and each other. So it's been fun.
It's been fun. It's been fun this past month. I feel like we're enjoying it a lot more. And I feel like when you enjoy things a lot more, just showing up to the ballpark and having that good energy, just good things tend to happen. I feel like that's the vibe around the clubhouse right now, and we just got to keep running with it.
A lot has happened this month. Obviously, you guys playing great ball, but there's been some thematic parts of the month also. We've got Grimace. We've got OMG. And you guys took a selfie on the team bus when you were headed down to D.C., kind of the start of it all with that 3-game sweep. How much fun has it been for you guys in the clubhouse to be a part of it all and for the fans to just rally around these little things? Like, do you guys take on to that also in the clubhouse as well?
I think what you said right there is it's about the fans. The fans getting behind us, the fans, enjoying the energy. I think it's important, and Manaea kind of brought this to us. He was like, listen, we need something. And this is dating back some time. We need something to get behind. It's kind of one of those things, it's like a superstition. It's like, it's only weird if it doesn't work, right? So I think it's important, regardless, whether it's Grimace, whether it's oh my God, whatever it might be, you got to rally around something together as a unit, When I was in St. Louis, a funny story, the year they won the Stanley Cup, the Blues.
2019.
Yeah, and I hope I'm not messing this story up, but basically they were having a really tough season, and they played that Gloria song, and it was like that scene where, like in The Wolf of Wall Street, when the boat is like sinking, right? And they played this song to kind of be like, this is where we are, this is where our season's going, and they rallied behind it. And in St. Louis, I remember it was a massive thing. It was like play Gloria, So I've always been a very firm believer, and that was dating back to 2019. I've always been a firm believer of getting behind something as a group. And I think, we obviously have great energy, like Mark said earlier. But yeah, listen, it's been a lot of fun. I think we're gonna, keep rolling the best we can with what we got.
I mean, we saw last night the videos from home runs and high balls. You guys just going nuts for OMG. How special is that connection you guys have? Because I don't think you guys see that. Like, we don't see that in many teams these days, where you guys are just all together on an off night, just jumping up and down, going crazy.
Pete said it, I think Pete said it best. We're not playing that song because we're just like, oh, it's our teammate. Like, we play it because that song is an absolute banger.
Yeah.
Dude, I listened to it on repeat this morning.
It's an absolute banger.
We all did, right?
You know what I mean?
At the gym today, literally after squats, I was looking crazy because I was just doing that.
It's an absolute banger. I mean, my raps and my mixtapes from back in the day, they're not making it into the clubhouse.
Wait a minute.
I didn't even
This
know about that.
I'm just kidding. Kidding.
How far back in the day are we talking?
No, I'm just kidding.
Is this SoundCloud? You were a SoundCloud rapper?
No.
SoundCloud rapper over here.
Can you spit bars right now? Can you be impulsive?
No, I was kidding. The point is that we play it because it's an amazing song. It truly is an absolute banger.
All right, so you guys had a great Subway Series. You both homered in the same inning, one batter apart. And there was there's a handshake that you guys have been doing, the photograph. Talk about the genesis of that handshake that you guys have going on right now.
I mean, I feel like Harrison has a handshake with everybody. So
okay.
He was like, hey, we gotta make one up. We kind of just we started with 3, like back and forth, boom, 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 boom. and it wasn't working. We were off rhythm and off timing. We were like, all right, let's cut it down to 2. It started clicking, and then I feel like after that, like we started hitting homers, like me and him, and I was like, honestly, it's working. And then whoever hits the home run, the other person takes a picture of them. That's our handshake right
That's
now.
the handshake.
And then you have a good handshake with Sean Manaea too.
Oh, yes. Yes. Can't let that one go by.
I do. No, I think the handshakes are just like you just match each other's personality. You know what I'm saying? Like, this kid is a very dynamic player. He's got a great swing, obviously. He does a lot of things really good. His personality is smiling, happy, very upbeat. You know, Manaea's more goofy. He's funny. You know what I mean? He plays into humor extremely well. So it's just a different vibe, you know? But I think it's important, again, to, like we talked about before, you got to get behind something. You know what I mean? And we do these little things like lock us in when the game goes. You know what I mean? Like, I can't go out there without doing my handshake with him in the, you know, in the dugout or with Pete or with anybody else. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's a routine. And, you know, in many ways, you just like check those boxes, and like once you're done, now we go do our job.
Talked about the Subway Series. How much fun was it? Obviously for you to face your former team, hit a couple home runs. You have a 2-homer game, 2 totally different homers, by the way. One majestic launch, one on a line to right field. So how much fun were those 2 games?
And with a beard.
And with a beard.
With the beard this time.
You got it, say it.
No, it was sick environment. I talked about it the other day. I'm like, man, that's just like the stuff you work hard for, to play in environments like that. And the energy the fans were bringing, I feel like that's the motivation, just playing like that. And I feel like that's like a playoff environment that we were in, and that's what the mindset every day is what we're working for. Obviously, we take it one day at a time, but we want to be in the playoffs. And I feel like I said, that environment was second to none. It was so sick.
No, during the rain delay, did you guys see everything that was happening in the ballpark that night on Twitter?
I didn't actually.
You didn't see the Grimace on the Shea Bridge?
No.
Oh my God, dude.
I saw one. I did see one dude, like the water was just like.
And he was drinking
He
a
was
beer.
showering.
Yeah.
So that was good, the Grimace. So like there was a mass of like 200, 300 people. And this Grimace gets up on a beer cart or something, and he's got his hands in the air and he's chugging a beer through a dollar store Grimace costume. And it's just a sea of cell phones
Oh, that's unbelievable.
that people are filming.
This is what I'm saying. Like, this is why New York is the best, man. Where else are you gonna get that?
Yeah.
Nowhere.
That's sick.
You know? But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why it was so great. The Subway Series was awesome because, you know, I've seen it as a fan, as a young kid. I played in it as a Yankee. I played in it as a Met. I think having that perspective is so cool. I'm just extremely grateful for it. You know, we always have so much respect and admiration for our opponent. You know what I mean? And you treat them and treat everybody the same way. It doesn't matter, but you know, there is definitely a little history in being from New York and getting an opportunity to just compete against that organization, those guys. I mean, it is special. And I remember when I was over there, we would always say that, you know, as a New York Yankee, you always get everybody's best game, you know, because everybody wants to like play up, and especially if you're playing in Yankee Stadium, you always get everyone's best game. So I think if you take that same mentality against every single opponent, regardless of the game, regardless of the situation, regardless of what it is, then you're going to find yourself in a good spot. And again, that's why I think it's so important to just channel that level of focus, and just focus on the ball, man. And to speak to it too. I mean, the fans. It's so fun for the fans, you know. Mark talked about that playoff environment. I mean, that he's right. You know, he's right. When you have fans like that dueling in the stands, you know, you hear Yankees chants, you hear Mets chants. I mean, that's why we're here, man. That's why I signed back here. There's no place like winning and competing in New York. There's nothing like it.
Did you guys feel that playoff atmosphere in Chicago for that Sunday night baseball game?
Honestly, I've never been actually, I've been once in the playoff, just watching it in 2022.
Right, yeah.
But I feel like, yeah, Chicago was sick too. Chicago was one of my favorite places to play at.
Yeah, I mean, with the Cardinals, I mean, that was always one of my favorite places to play, you know? I mean, they always show out there, especially for day games.
Dude, the bleacher creatures.
No,
Even
it's
when they were getting
unbelievable.
killed, like Friday, you guys it
They're
was
always
over
there.
in the second
Yeah.
inning. They
Yeah.
didn't let up out there at all.
Yeah, there are some people who haven't really experienced Chicago like that. I have a lot. I've been very fortunate to, and it's such a special place. Yeah, it's incredible.
Now, you hit a ball in Chicago, Sunday Night Baseball, 451 feet, no big deal. Is that the longest blast of your life, or have you hit further than that?
I think in single A, I think I hit 480.
480.
Like someone,
believe
it wasn't like someone say, oh, it was 480. Like one of the coaches told me, he was like, they were saying it was like projected 480, but who knows? I mean, I feel like that one that I hit in Chicago was
a good one.
off the charts.
I kind of didn't trust Statcast there. Like when I saw how high it landed,
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's 470 at least. So I'm calling BS on Statcast.
We'll see. We'll see if I get. I think I have a little bit more in the tank. We'll see if I get.
As long as it goes
further-
over the fence, man.
No, I
Right,
know.
yeah,
I know
that's
that.
all that matters.
Yeah.
As long as it goes over the fence.
That's all that matters.
100%.
At the end of the day.
Nah, he hits them, man. It's impressive to watch. It really is.
And you guys have been homering a lot lately. And when you homer here, we got the lights now going nuts at Citi Field. How much fun is all that for you? You got both the lights on homers and then also the visiting pitcher changes. How about that?
That's a cool thing that they made that this year, right?
Yeah. The lights are brand new this year, the LEDs.
I feel like it gets the whole point is to get the fans involved and engaged in the game, and I feel like that's a big factor.
You know, we're so locked in and we have such our blinders on and just we're so focused in our dugout, you know, amongst ourselves that I think I sometimes don't even notice the lights, but the pitching change thing is awesome. And like Mark said, you know, engaging the fans, they bring their phones out, nice little moment. I mean, listen, that's what it's about. It's about the fans enjoying themselves while we go to work. So I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's creative. It's fun. Yeah, it's cool. It's a little daunting too. I like it. It's
You think it's a little intimidating for the other
like
guy
the-
coming in?
Probably.
100%.
Do you like the noise instead
Yes.
of like music?
Yes,
'Cause, like
for
music
sure.
can pump anybody up, but just like a noise.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. I think it's great. I mean, listen, there are a lot of experienced pitchers, obviously, in this league. The guys are very professional, but, you know, still walking into that, you got to be like, damn, this is, okay, here we go. You know, this is a thing. So I love it. I love it.
Now, off the field, just some quick stuff. I'm sure you've seen Harrison, one of the best dressed guys on the team.
100%.
Have you gotten any advice from him?
I have. Actually, he put me onto this brand that I've been wearing a lot lately, Chrome Hearts.
We talked about that last time we chatted with you, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's his brand, but he put me on it. And honestly, I'm rocking with it right now. I feel like that's like on the top of my list, slowly but surely getting on the top of my list of favorite brands.
So you just got to get that in a Cybertruck, and then you're set, right?
And then I'm
Yeah, what's the
Harrison,
story?
I'm Harrison Bader 2.0.
What's the story with that, by the way?
No, he has his own style, man. He's good. That's what we call him, Swaggy. The Cybertruck?
Yeah.
It was just my friend's Cybertruck, and
All right.
they wrapped it in their vodka company that they own. It's called ALB. It's based in upstate New York in Albany. Brought it back to New York, kind of rebranded it to an extent, and I just thought it was fun to kind of bring out for the Subway Series again, because I think again, I talk about it all the time. I'm like a broken record. Stay focused, be yourself, be the same all the time. But I did enjoy kind of the Subway Series atmosphere, and I did want to kind of rep, New York a little bit. So kind of added to it. But yeah, that was just my friend's truck. Just had it for the day, so it was pretty cool.
Cyber Beast.
It was a cyber beast. Yeah, it was a beast.
So last time you told us how serious you take your batting gloves. Told us all about how you wear the plainest shoes because you want to let your batting gloves and your elbow pad show. Did you notice the color? It's the same color.
Hey, these things happen for a reason, man.
You know, Colin Cosell, the PA announcer, actually asked over headset a couple nights ago. He's like, "Is Bader wearing the purple batting gloves now for Grimace?" And I had to explain.
So funny.
I was like, "Well, if you listen to me at the Apple, you would know that that's
And
a
we're
thing."
also 74 games in, and I wear the
Yeah.
same batting gloves every single day.
Yeah,
But
he's got to focus on who's coming to bat, the number of the
Yeah,
position.
yeah.
So he
Listen,
made an observation at some point.
I said to somebody that like in a few years you're going to see somebody mistakenly say, you know that the purple in the city
Oh,
New
100%.
jersey is because of Grimace. Like that's why
100%.
it started.
It's just funny how these things kind of come to fruition. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of like serendipity with this and the purple and how we decided to, create the jerseys with the 7 line and it just. That's why we get romantic about this game, and that's why we continue to stay in the pocket because you just never know how it's going to shake out and just how things kind of just tie themselves together.
How about the pink shirt? This has become a bit of a phenomenon. Harrison Bader wearing the cropped pink. When did it begin, and how did it all come to be?
Well, I crop all my shirts because it's easier to play in. Like, it's hot outside. I don't know if you guys noticed in New York. New York City's getting hot.
It's been
get some
hot.
airflow.
It's like a rainforest.
But no, I
cafe
mean,
outside.
I did some like promotional stuff with you guys for the team store, and they asked me to just grab a couple items, and I grabbed a couple dog toys for my little dog at home, and then I grabbed the pink shirt and I cropped it and I wore it out for batting practice. And actually, I think it has since sold out, so we got to restock those.
Yeah, they
No
did a thing yesterday.
Yeah.
They did a promotional thing, and I was looking for the shirt. Nowhere to be found.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
See?
gone.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
gone, and everybody's cropping it up now.
People keep asking me like how to buy it cropped, and I was like, you just cut the bottom.
Wait, people ask you,
Yeah,
how
just
to
cut the
crop
bottom.
it?
Yeah, just cut the bottom. No, like where can I get it? Like where can I get it like that?
Oh, you can't. You
I'm
got to
like,
do it
no,
yourself.
Just cut it. Yeah,
It's
it's
a
a
little
DIY
DIY project.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we got to get you guys out there. Thank you so much for joining us. You can listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, or on the Mets YouTube. Harrison Bader, Mark Vientos, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time at the Apple.